A few months back in China, Oppo announced the R17 Pro, their new upper mid-range phone with 3 rear cameras. That phone rolls out to the rest of this world this November, so our first order of business was to check out its new time of flight camera. What exactly does that do? Hi, I'm Michael Josh. You're watching Gadget Match. Keep watching. This is our Oppo R17 Pro hands-on. The display on the Oppo R17 Pro spans 6.4 inches diagonally and is fitted with a Full HD Plus AMOLED panel. It has the same water drop notch as on the Oppo F9 and is reinforced with Corning Gorilla Glass 6 to make it tougher against scratches. Turn it around and you'll be greeted with this beautiful matte gradient, which is quite refreshing in a sea of glossy options, and is supposedly less of a fingerprint magnet. This particular color is called Radiant Mist and is reminiscent of the Northern Lights, but one can't help but see the similarities between that color and the color of the Huawei P20 Pro, which kind of originated this new gradient style finish when it launched back in February. But the phone is pretty nonetheless. That blue to purple gradient goes from left to right and extends all the way down to the phone's bottom frame. It's made of what Oppo calls 3D fog glass and is supposed to have an S-shaped shimmer. See this S pattern over here when we hold the phone to the light this way? The phone will also be available in emerald green. An imposing presence on the back of the phone are its 3 main cameras. Let's take a look at them one by one. Let's go from bottom to top. First is a secondary 20 megapixel camera that lets you zoom in on subjects and helps with background blur. In the middle is the main 12 megapixel wide angle camera, which can switch between f1.5 and f2.4 depending on lighting conditions. Similar to tech we first saw on the Galaxy S9 and Note 9. And finally, up top is the one we teased, a TOF or time of flight sensor that lets you create 3D models out of real-world objects. Later on, you can 3D print these models, similar to a feature on the Sony Xperia, but the TOF sensor is not just limited to 3D applications alone. It can be used for positioning and augmented reality gaming. Hand in hand with some new software features, the TOF sensor also helps the R17 Pro deliver better low-light photos. Here, you be the judge. Take a look at some photos we shot around Shenzhen, China, both during the night and during the day. Up front, the R17 Pro has a 25 megapixel selfie camera, staying true to its selfie expert roots. Here, take a look at some selfies also. The front camera has what Oppo is calling 3D structured tech for face recognition. Invisible light is projected onto your face, which in turn is used for faster, more accurate face recognition. Apart from Face Unlock though, the Oppo R17 Pro also gets an in-display fingerprint scanner. In our time with the phone, it was accurate and snappy. The phone is powered by Snapdragon's mid-range 710 processor with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of onboard storage. But while most new phones have the new Android Pie, this phone still runs Android 8.1 Oreo with Oppo's ColorOS skin on top. The phone has 2 batteries, each with a capacity of 1850 mAh. Combined using its buy-sell approach, you get a grand total of 3,700 mAh. Oppo says this method is a safer approach to charging. And speaking of charging, the R17 Pro comes with Super VOOC Flash Charge, just like on the Lamborghini edition of the Find X. Now listen to this. They promise 40% battery life in 10 minutes, or a complete charge of 0 to 100 in only 35 minutes. That's crazy fast. So, is the Oppo R17 Pro your gadget match? We'll let you know once we're finished with our review, and we'll be posting that on gadgetmatch.com. In Singapore, the phone will be available on November 10th and will retail for just under 1,000 Singapore dollars. Oppo has also scheduled a Europe launch event early next month, and while the reports aren't official, we hear that they might be rebranding the phone as the Oppo RX17 Pro in Europe. Whether or not that is true, we'll find out very soon. Gadget Match will be there, so to make sure you don't miss any of that information, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we post new stories, follow us on social media, and make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. From here in China, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.